I'm not going to go into great detail about my disabilities. All you need to know is that I am a disabled veteran, and through the Veterans Administration, the VA, I have been found unemployable due to my service connected disabilities and therefore have been given a rating of 100%. The VA, the caseworker, told me to go to the Social Security Administration, the SSA, and apply for SSA disability. I did, and my claim was denied. I filled out an appeals form, and my claim was again denied. Before I continue, I just want to say that the SSA denying my claim makes no sense since the VA, another federal government department, has determined me to be unemployable due to my service connected disabilities. It only stands to reason that if the VA, a federal government department, has found me to be unemployable, then the SSA should automatically find me to be the same since both are federal government departments and both follow the same federal government criteria to determine whether a person is unemployable or not. I get it that the SSA can oppose a non federal government entity, seeing that their guidelines may not be the same. But that is not the case between the VA and the SSA. They are both federal government departments, and they both have the same guidelines they have to follow. So, no, I do not understand how one can determine you to be unemployable while the other determines that you are employable. After I was denied my SSA claim the second time, I decided that I was not going to keep fighting the federal government, especially since I had just got done with a 7-year fight with them. So I decided to hire a lawyer to handle my case. I hired Bender and Bender. Warning: if you are seeking Social Security disability and you are contemplating to hire a lawyer or a law firm, I suggest you avoid Bender and Bender like the plague. I have read online numerous complaints about Bender and Bender, and I wish I had researched Bender and Bender before I accepted them. In my case, I feel that Bender and Bender did not adequately represent me. Most of the phone calls I got from them throughout the duration of them representing me, and I use that term loosely, was from a secretary from a regional office asking me about any changes such as address, etc. I did not meet or speak to my assigned lawyer until the day of my arbitrary hearing, and only then was he getting familiar with my case. I was very upset at that point because what kind of representation was I getting? The lawyer did not know anything about me until the date and time of the arbitrary hearing. Furthermore, I was unaware that for an arbitrary hearing, the arbitrator, which can be a lawyer or a judge, can determine the outcome of your case using his or hers personal opinion. Had I known that, I would not have agreed to an arbitrary hearing. I would rather have a judge decide my case by using the letter of the law, not his personal opinion. So, being ignorant to this, I agreed to have the arbitrary hearing, and despite all the medical facts within my medical records, and despite the expert witness sent by the SSA testifying that he believed that I was unemployable due to my medical disabilities, the arbitrator ruled against me, saying he did not believe I was unemployable, but that I was obese. Shortly after receiving the arbitrary hearing's ruling, Bender and Bender sent me a letter in the mail telling me that the only other option was for them to take my case to the Supreme Court. But in order for them to do that, I would have to pay all legal fees up front. I couldn't afford it, so I had to drop my case. And because I have not worked for so many years at that point, I no longer qualified for Social Security disability and could not file again. So I was screwed and tattooed. So yeah, I have two pieces of advice. One, avoid Bender and Bender like the plague. I don't know about other national law firms, but I think I would avoid them all and go with a local lawyer, somebody you can go see and talk to face if necessary. The second piece of advice I have is that if your lawyer suggests you go to an arbitration hearing, say no, or you too can find yourself being ruled against because the arbitrator can use his or her personal opinion to decide your case. Go to a court hearing where the judge has to decide your case based on the law. If you happen to be a lawyer watching this video, I have a couple of questions. Can I sue Bender and Bender for this? Can I sue the SSA and force them to reopen my claim? For the rest of you, please hit like below and share this video with others so they don't fall victim to Bender and Bender if they are seeking SSA disability.